Penalty for LowKick, mate. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Nathaniel Wood. How's it going, Nathaniel?
Yeah, it's good, mate. Thank you. I've just had my first week of fight camp completed, so it's nice to finally get that one out of the way because that's always the hardest. But yeah, other than that, mate, we're good. We're feeling fit, strong. Yeah, happy to be here.
So what is it? Is it like jumping back in at the deep end? Really, really tough stuff? Or have you been ticking over, staying fit, preparing for this moment?
Yeah, I've been ticking over still. Still been training, of course. I'm always trying to maintain a certain level of fitness. But for me, the first fight week back in camp is always extreme, and it's just getting the body back used to it, I guess. But yeah, this week I feel much better than I did last week, and I've still got 7 weeks to go. So March the 19th, I will be ready to put on a show.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. But just before we get into what's next, I just want to reflect on the year you had. Obviously, not ideal. You didn't manage to get a fight in 2021. I think it was an injury issue that laid you off for quite a lot of the year. How do you reflect on the year that was?
Yeah, it sucked not being able to get a fight in. I just guess it's the nature of the sport. Obviously I had the injury from the Casey Kenny fight that put me out for, in the end, that was about 6 months. And then obviously I didn't mind, because I thought, right, just rest the hand up. I'd just come off a good fight, got a bonus. There's no rush. I was like, right, let's get the hand back to normal. Then obviously had the fight booked with Jonathan Martinez and then broke the hand a month out. So it's the same hand again. It was just like, one of those things. But now, touch wood, we're injury free. We're going to stay injury free. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back in there. It's been a year and a half by the time I fight since I fought. So I'm looking forward to going in there and letting people know I'm still here.
And how is the hand feeling? Obviously, first week back at camp, as you said, one of the hardest for you. Are your hands feeling that, or are they standing up to all the punishment you've put on them?
No, mate, the hand's absolutely fine. It's been fine for a while now. Because obviously this fight we had a lot of notice for. So the past 2 months I've been training on it. It's not been an issue. It's just now the fitness level obviously is coming right up, and it's time to get into my peak optimal performance. So yeah, I've been hitting for a while on the hand now. It's all cleared. It's all good to go. I'm ready to get that first round knockout.
Yeah, if you don't mind me asking, what you do to stay busy when you're not preparing for an MMA fight, or you're kind of injured and you're laid up? Do you have kind of things on the side going that you're trying to make little businesses or things like that, or is it all just geared towards rehab and getting back in there?
Yeah, so I have a clothing company that I run with a friend of mine called Prospect Apparel. We do that on the side. That was kind of the main reason I started that, really, was to have some sort of side project, because I'm not one of these people that can just sit down and watch telly all day. In between sessions, I feel like I need to be active. I need to be doing something, whether it's, reading a book or working on business ideas, etc. So I've done that, just planting the seeds for, when I eventually retire from competing, hopefully I've got some stuff to fall back on. And yeah, just try and stay as busy as I can, really. I've got a Belgian Mali now, a dog. So he's 1 year old, and he's hard work, man. So I have to walk him 3 times a day and train him and whatnot. So he's keeping me busy, but it's good. It's a good busy, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I've got a 1 year old dog myself as well. He keeps me busy. I've seen your one. I don't think he needs as much walking as yours. One of my dog's knackered, so I think I've struck lucky there.
What is he?
He's a staff.
Ah, okay. That's what I grew up with my mum and dad. So I've only moved out a year ago, and we had a staff. So she's about 14 now. So she's getting old, mate. But yeah, she was a lot more chilled than this one I got.
Oh, yeah. Well, moving on from all of that, and finally you've got a date, you've got an opponent. It's Liudvik Sholinian, if I'm saying that right. Obviously we've seen him last time in action against Jack Shore. I just want to get your thoughts on him first of all as an opponent.
So from what I've seen, or supposedly from what I've heard, he's a very high level wrestler, national champion. So I think that's his main background. In the fights that I've seen, he hasn't really wrestled too much. If anything, Jack Shore out wrestled wrestled him. So I'm kind of thinking, you know, he likes to fight. So maybe he's going to come forward and want to scrap. If he does, I'm all for it. You know, I think I'll finish him pretty quick if he does. But I do think that he's going to fall back to his wrestling background, and I think he's going to try and wrestle me the whole fight. So that's part of the training camp, you know, getting ready for that wrestler, getting ready for his very scrappy style, you know, for his very wild shots, which can be very dangerous because, you know, it's not what we're used to in the gym when we're high level striking. So, but, you know, I'm preparing for everything. So no matter where the fight goes, I think I'm going to finish him.
And what did you make of his performance against Jack? Obviously, he's one of our guys from the UK, one of our top prospects. And although I think it was late notice for Liudvik, he managed to go the 3 rounds, although he didn't get much off in terms of offense. He survived the 15 and he didn't disgrace himself at all.
No, so for me, I think either Jack Shaw had an amazing performance or Liudvik had a terrible performance because, you know, that whole fight, Jack just outplayed him completely. So hats off to Jack for that. Obviously, as you said, he came on it on a week's notice. So maybe he just thought, you know, there's no game plan. I'm just going to go out there and swing for the fences. But, you know, from that fight, I didn't see anything really that was anything to worry about for me. So, yeah, you know, it'll be exciting to see what he comes out like on March 19th, and I'll see how he is with the London crowd, because I don't think he's actually fought with a UFC crowd in an actual arena. You know, I think he's fought on the Ultimate Fighter, and then obviously Jack was in the Apex, so you might feel that pressure. You know, it's a different gravy when you're coming out to that crowd, and you know, obviously he's going to be in my hometown.
Yeah, and obviously you mentioned a couple of times already there that you think you're looking for the finish, or you think you might get the finish. Have you thought about how it might come then? Do you have a specific way that you think you might be able to take this guy out?
Well, if he comes forward like he does with everyone else, he's just going to walk in on my shots. So when you're coming forward and you're walking into shots, it's only going to double that impact. So yeah, you know, I feel like I'm going to be able to knock him out, if not TKO. Also, he comes in for obviously his takedowns, so I'm ready for that, you know. So like Johnny Eduardo did, I've got a very good Darce choke defense. I've got a very guillotine defense, and I can be very good off my back. So, you know, I'm pretty comfortable wherever the fight goes. I just hope that it's an exciting fight. You know, I really don't want to have a 3-5 minute fight where for the whole fight I'm just trying to like get someone off, like go away. You know, I want him to actually fight. I don't want him to try and hug me for 3 rounds. So we'll see how it goes. And yeah, I just want to get that finish, you know, in the home city, hopefully get a bonus. And that's the other thing. I think, you know, with his style, it's a fight that could easily be fight of the night. I think it all depends on how he's going to come out. And yeah, we'll just have to take it from there.
Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of competition for them bonuses on fight night. And we'll get into UFC London now, but I just want to focus on you. Since the last London card in 2019, you've done a bit of traveling. So you fought in Abu Dhabi twice and Rio Rancho once. So I just want to get your thoughts on them two, you know, fight destinations, how you found the whole Fight Island experience, and, you know, how it compares to your fighting at home.
For me, the Fight Island experience is cool. You know, it is really it's enjoyable. It's not the same as obviously being in your hometown with a crowd, but it's very laid back. You know, the UFC covered everything. They've got you in the W Hotel, which is a lovely hotel. You know, it's like 5-star, and you just kind of left to your own devices. You know, they're like, look, we want you to chill out, don't catch COVID. Everything's going to be delivered to your door. You know, if you need food, we'll bring it, whatever you need. If you need medical treatments and massages, it's covered. Just don't go and catch COVID. So it is very easy when you fight in Fight Island. It is very nice, obviously, having a 6-hour flight. You know, that's not too bad. So it beats the jet lag and stuff that we get when we obviously fly over to the States. And yeah, you know, the experience is very cool. The people over there as well, so friendly. You know, everyone's out, everyone's trying to do stuff for you. And yeah, you know, I've had obviously really good times on there. I just wish that I'd have got that decision against Casey Kenny. That would have made it a little bit more enjoyable for me.
Absolutely. And now you've got to be excited to be back in your hometown. I know us UK fans are excited to have the UFC back in England, but for you as a hometown lad to be in front of your own fans, it's got to be a special one, this one.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, the fight I had in London in 2019, that was one of the best experiences of my life. You know, I'll remember that till the day I die. So to get to do that all over again, that's going to be a special moment for me. So I just need to go in there, make sure I put the work in, and get the same result that I got last time.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be even more of an event because, you know, fans who have been chomping at the bit for something like this for 3 years now. I think the decibel levels in that stadium are gonna be crazy when people like yourself walk out. And obviously at the top of the card, we've got Tom Aspinall. I just want to get your opinion on what you make of him headline a massive card in London, only a few fights in his UFC career. It was a surprise to me. Did it come as a surprise to you?
It's a surprise only in the fact that he's had 3 fights and obviously he hasn't fought in an arena yet either. So maybe I thought, you know, they might put him onto co-main event, but he is a beast. I think he's going to be a future UFC champion. So it will, I guess it will do the UFC favors if he does, you know, walk through this guy and then move on and do bigger things. I just hope that he does. You know, I like him, so I hope that he really does smash it. But if I had it my way, I would have said Arnold Allen deserved the main event slot. You know, he's I think 8-0 now in the UFC, so you know, I thought he was going to get it, but hey ho, it doesn't affect me. So yeah, you know, I wish these guys obviously all the best and hope they represent just as much as I want to represent.
Yeah, and you mentioned Arnold Allen. That was my next question. Obviously, he doesn't get the main event slot, but he does get, you know, a named opponent in Dan Hooker. You know, one of the more popular guys who in the lightweight division for a long time, and he also gets that co-main event slot. You know, a really premium slot where Arnold's been one of them guys who has struggled to make a dent, even though he is 8 in a row and he's been beating all these top guys. Do you think this could be his coming out party?
For sure. You know, I think Dan Hooker's obviously an amazing fighter. He's been up there in there with the best. So I think if Arnold Allen can go out there and obviously put on a good show and get the win, 9-0 coming off a win against Dan Hooker, you know, where does that put him? So yeah, you know, I really hope that he does the job, and I believe he will as well. So I'm looking forward to that one.
And just lastly on the UFC London card, I want to comment on Cage Warriors and their presence and what they've been doing for UK MMA, because I think I'm counting so far there's 8 fighters on the card from Cage Warriors. I think there's at least one more to be added from what I'm hearing. Why is it Cage Warriors are consistently making UFC caliber fighters, and how special it's to have all these Cage Warriors alumni all under the same roof on March 19th?
Yeah, it's funny because I saw someone the other day put on Instagram that this looked like an old Cage Warriors card, you know, because we had all the guys from Cage Warriors. So yeah, Cage Warriors is a great promotion. They're doing obviously amazing things, and I think it's a great pathway to get to the UFC, because the UFC understand that Cage Warriors is one of the next best in line. You know, obviously we have a few promotions out there that are really good, but I feel like Cage Warriors is that feeder to, you know, the guys that are the champions on Cage Warriors are well and truly, you know, ready for the UFC. So yeah, my teammate Dominick Wood, and he's the bantamweight Cage Warriors champ now. So I'm hoping that he gets a call up soon to the UFC as well. It'll be nice to have him alongside me. And
yeah, is there any movement on Dominic? Yeah, I thought he might have got the call up for this card, but it seems unlikely at this point.
Nothing yet. And I don't know what the case is. I think it's only me and Jack Shaw, I believe, that are the bantamweights. So you know, maybe I think he'll just stay ready as always, and you know, if an opportunity comes, then he'll be sure he'll be grabbing it.
Absolutely. And if all goes to plan here, you go in and do what you're expecting to do, maybe get a quick finish in this fight. How many times do you want to fight in 2022?
I want to get at least 3. You know, if I had it my way, I'd have 4 fights a year. But if I can get 3 fights, 3 good wins, then, you know, 2022 will be a good year for me. And I'd like to think that going into 2023, I'll be in that sort of top 10 talks, you know, and start working my way up towards that belt.
And after this one, do you have any opponents in mind? Are you the type of guy who looks, ahead and thinks, when I get the mic, I'm going to call out this guy, or is it just whoever they feed you?
Yeah, there's people that I'd love to fight. Obviously, I still want that fight with Chito Vera. That fight needs to happen eventually. So I know I've got to chase him a little bit because, he's just come off a knockout win against Frankie Edgar. It'd be cool to get that fight with Jonathan Martinez. I don't like having to pull out from a fight. So, it'd be nice to get that one on. And yeah, there's no one really, just anyone that's going to get me up that ladder. I want fights that are obviously going to push me up. I don't want to just come for a payday kind of thing. Obviously Liudvik's not ranked. He's not above me, but I haven't fought for a year and a half, and that's what the UFC offered me. So why would I will have no right to turn that down. I always just accept whoever the UFC give me, I will fight them. So obviously I've got Liudvik for this one. I'll fight him. And then, whoever the UFC next give me. But ideally, I want to get someone that's ranked above me.
Yeah, and this 135 division, the UFC's 135 division's got to be the strongest in MMA. It's absolutely stacked. And just before I let you go, I want to go through just a couple of things that are going on right now at bantamweight. And obviously, we've got the rematch between Aljamain Sterling and Peter Yan. Obviously, ended controversy last time. How do you see this one going?
I really hope Adrian Sterling does it. I've trained with him before. He's my boy. I like him, so I really hope he gets the win. But it's a tough fight, man. They're both two very, very talented guys. And it's been a while since the last one, so a lot could have happened in regards to training since then. So it will be interesting to see. If you had to ask me on who I think is going to win, I don't know. It's a tricky one. So, but I hope Adrian Sterling gets it.
Such an interesting fight. And then after that, we've got another one. TJ Dillashaw is kind of waiting in the wings for the winner, and former champion. How does he match up with both of those guys? Do you think he'd be able to dethrone either of them?
I don't know. I don't know. I think Adrian Sterling would do better. No, sorry. I think Peter Yan would do better against TJ than Adrian Sterling would. I think Peter Yan would put the pressure on TJ more. I don't know, man. It's hard. It's such a division where in this game, like, even with my fight, like, at the end of the day, anything can happen. It's MMA. We've got 4-ounce gloves on. You could have someone that's ranked number 1 and then they lose to a guy that's ranked number 20 because everyone's so good in that division. So yeah, it would all be who turns up on the night and who, in a way, gets that lucky shot, I think, with them three. But yeah, it's a stacked division. So I look forward to the competition.
Yeah, and absolutely. And two new stars emerged in the division. You got Said Nurmagomedov's performance over Cody Stamann. No one's ever took him out that quick. And then Victor Henry upset the odds by beating Barcelos the other week. And did you see them two performances? What you make of them?
I haven't seen the fights, no. So yeah, I'll have to check them out. I need to keep up to date a little bit more. I'm a bit old school where I don't really catch up as much.
You got your stuff to do. You're a busy man, as we spoke about earlier. But just before I let you go, as we've been mentioning, this 135 division is stacked. I was speaking to Jack Shaw, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and I was saying there's about 30 guys who, talent-wise, are all good enough to be in that top 15. There's just not enough spots. So how do you go about making a dent in this division? How do you stand out from, the crowd that is bantamweight right now?
Of course, it's getting the good wins. You've got to, it's not just about beating the good guys, it's about doing it in good style as well, I think. So, you need them viral knockouts. The ones that I got in Cage Warriors, they done me good. So, I'm going to be looking for that on this fight. And, let the UFC know that I'm here, I'm back, and I'm ready to go and rock with the top 10. Absolutely.
Can't wait to watch it, mate. I wish you good luck with camp and fight night. It's going to be a great event, and hopefully I'll see you there. But until then, we'll speak soon.
Lovely. Thanks for having me as always, mate.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.